Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the His Point Her View podcast, episode number 19. And I'm here with my lovely co host, Katina. This is the faceless episode, by the way. But say hello to the people, Katina.
Hello, everyone.
Well, kind of faceless, because I think your picture might be showing in your avatar. So you ain't seen shit from me because my apartment is a wreck. So we're going to pretend like this is a real podcast where you don't see people, you just hear voices. You guys will be fine. You will live without seeing her sexiness and my like handsomeness, I guess, or whatever you want to call it.
Whatever, man. Everybody knows I am just basic and normal.
I won't say you're basic. You damn sure ain't normal. So yeah, nah, you're not gonna. But let me try to behave. Maybe I should get on your path now of the higher path that you're on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Positivity, Michael. Positivity.
Yes, I'm positively drinking some rum right now.
Oh. Well, okay. I'm over here making lip glosses.
You're making lip gloss.
You know I'm kind of artsy sometimes.
Are you gonna sell them somewhere?
Nope, they're for my own use.
Really? Why don't you sell them?
Because I don't that's not where my passion lies. My passion, as you know, lies in technology and law. My passion does not lie in lip glosses or anything. It's just, I've decided that I wanted some more natural lip glosses, so I made me some, and so there you have it. It's for my own personal use.
Now, how do you make lip gloss?
Well,
this is fascinating to me. So this is an aside from what we're going to be talking about.
Well, so lip gloss is mainly just softened wax, and then I use some essential oils to moisturize my lips, and then a little bit of coloring, and then a little bit of flavoring.
Okay, so it's that, and then I guess what do you like? Because I'm just curious. Like, how does it get to how they come in the tube? How do you get it that way?
So if you want it in the tube, then what you would do is you would buy, of course, the tubes themselves. And then while the gloss is still liquid, you just pour it in there. Mine are not in tubes. Mine are in, I don't know what you would call these, but they're like little containers and they're stackable and they screw on top of each other. So the bottom of one is the top of the other one. And so they come in sets of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sets of 8. And so, yeah, but I've been making my own gloss for like 3 years now.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I still buy some, but my night skincare hair routine, I use my own. So like the one that I just made today, it has peppermint in it. So it kind of soothes and moisturizes and does that. So yeah.
That is kind of fascinating to me for some reason. I always love when people are able to do creative stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's something I didn't know about you.
Yeah. Oh, I also make my own charcoal face mask. So I make that for my skincare. And starting, I guess, next week or the week after, I'm going to change my diet, drink more water. I'm giving up. I hate to say it, and I'm not really a big meat eater anyway, but I am giving up pork.
Oh, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah.
It's funny because I don't eat a lot of pork. I eat bacon.
No, I don't eat like a lot of pork, but I'm not a big meat eater Anyways, but I love steaks and I love chicken breasts. So I think I can survive off of that. I like some fish if it's prepared a certain way.
You see, that's me. I'm seafood and chicken for the most part. I
Mhm.
do like sausage. I do like bacon. I will eat them occasionally. It's not like something that I have to have.
Right.
Same thing with beef. People find it weird that I don't eat a lot of beef. It's only when the mood really strikes me, and generally that's only when I want a hamburger. Like it'll start to strike me now because we're getting closer to spring, and once it
Right.
starts to get warmer, I want like grilled burgers. But otherwise, I can go without beef forever. Pork again. Well, I think the most pork I've ever eaten is like pepperoni and sausage on a pizza, and that's not that frequent.
And you
Um,
know what? When I have a pizza, I normally have like pepperoni and pineapple.
I can't do the pineapple on like. I tried to do the Hawaiian thing, the ham and pineapple. I can't do pineapple.
Oh, I love pineapple.
I don't pineapple. It just doesn't sit right with me on cheese.
Hmm, I
Uh,
love.
yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with pineapple. I just can't do it on a pizza.
Right.
People I know, shout out to my boy Mav. I know he would hate this if he heard this, but people who eat pineapple on pizza weird me out a lot. He loves that shit. He actually thinks people are strange to not eat pineapple. I'm like, yeah, you're strange for doing that all the time.
Right.
Man, it is what it is. So, all right. Now that we're past that quote unquote personal moment, let's go ahead and get to our first three topics, and then we'll get to our main topic, which will be pretty interesting because, as Katina stated earlier, she's into technology, and I'm into technology. We're both fucking black geeks, black nerds. By the way, I laugh at all of you guys who think that there's a black nerd revolution.
No, we've been
Like
around for it.
exactly, because like me and my boy were saying the other day when we were reading the article, there was an article about that show, Stranger Things. If you've
Mhm.
never seen Stranger Things, there's a black kid on there, and he's like a total geek. And I saw an article where they tried to talk about how he's a revolutionary um, figure in black nerddom, and we
Oh,
both were sitting there laughing because we're like, "Yo, we're both like in our." He was in my boy's in his mid late 30s. I'm in my early 40s. We've both been geeks since the 80s. You know, it's
really?
nothing new. This
Well,
ain't no revolution. Like there's been black nerds all the time. We're cool ass black nerds. So maybe that's what fools people. But black people have been into stuff like this a long time. And it's not like some new revolutionary thing that people like to say now. Maybe it's more accepted, maybe it's more talked about openly now, but fuck. I don't care. I've always been a goddamn nerd, and I'm proud of that shit. Yeah. And I don't even consider being a nerd. I just like technology. I like tech, cool shit like that. I like learning about that stuff. So you want to call me a nerd? Fuck it, fine. Hey, that's cool. Nerd's not what it used to be. We all actually do get laid despite what you guys think. Okay. But anyway, um, yeah, shut up because I don't even want to hear it from you. Because we're not even going there. I already found out that my sister's a goddamn like poetic freak and shit.
what are
So
you talking about?
you know what I'm talking about, goddamn preacher's daughter. Okay, don't play.
Oh my goodness.
hmm Don't play. Anyway, all right. So first topic of the week, we're going to discuss Ben Carson and his quote unquote inspirational speech that he gave as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. That still makes me laugh. How the fuck does this motherfucker know about housing. He's a fucking brain surgeon. Good Lord. Anyway, but then again, he may not be a brain surgeon. He may be playing as one because clearly his brain is fucked up, and you would think that a brain surgeon would know a little bit about keeping your brain working properly, because he's giving his speech to his staff members, and he feels like as an inspirational part of the speech, he decides to talk about immigrants. And he comments basically Housing and Urban Development Secretary Ben Carson referred to slaves as immigrants while speaking Monday to department employees. Here's a direct quote from his speech. God help me when I read this, because this is gonna fucking piss me off.
Oh my goodness.
That's what America is about, a land of dreams and opportunity, Carson said. There were other immigrants who came here in the bottom of slave ships, worked even longer, even harder for less. But they too had a dream that one day their sons, daughters, grandsons, granddaughters, great-grandsons, great-granddaughters might pursue prosperity and happiness in this land. All right, so you want to go first, or do you want me to fucking go off first and then?
Okay, well, just in case somebody didn't hear you, you dropped off toward the end of it. You dropped off where it says their sons, daughters, grandsons, granddaughters, grandsons, great-granddaughters might pursue prosperity and happiness in this land. So you want me to go first? Are you sure?
It don't matter, because I don't think either one of us is going to be happy about this dumb shit.
No, I'm not happy. It is. Let me just say this. First of all, I am offended by his speech, his presentation, his words. Nicely put, he does not speak for the Black delegation, and we would like to trade him for Bernie Sanders. That's what the Black delegation would like to do at this point. I don't think that he didn't think that through. He couldn't have thought that through.
Does he think at all?
I don't know. That is like the absolutely positively dumbest thing that he could have said.
You're breaking up. Say it again.
That's the dumbest thing that he could have said. Slaves are not the same as immigrants. And he said that, that our slave brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers worked longer and harder for less. Of course they did, Ben. They worked harder and longer for nothing. This country was built on the backs of slaves. And Mike, I do a lot of research. I'm big time Black history buff. So, matter of fact, I am gonna do the swab and see where my roots truly lie. But I think that was the most insane and disrespectful thing that he said thus far. And then, mind you, he tried to clean it up by saying that you can be an unwilling, you can be, what did he say? Unwilling immigrant. An unwilling immigrant is a slave, in my opinion. An immigrant to me is when you're willfully coming to a country for whatever reason, a better life, better whatever. I think he's an idiot, to put it mildly. He is an educated fool. and he irks my spirit, you know, and I'm trying to stay positive, but boy, yeah, he's an idiot.
Are you done? Because I'm just one of y'all angry black man. Seriously.
Oh,
no, because that motherfucker is full of goddamn shit. No, he's not full of shit. Because I don't know if he has anything within his body. He definitely don't have a fucking brain. Because to say some shit like as a black male of his age, from his fucking generation, who wrote a book that was considered fucking quote unquote inspirational and that was required reading for a time in colleges, especially in black colleges. Gifted Hands. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. Ben Carson, Gifted Hands. It was a book that he wrote about his life and how he became, you know, a neurosurgeon. And it was supposed to be an uplifting story to show black people that they can do great things. You, of all fucking people, to have the goddamn audacity to come out and say some shit like this, motherfucker, what is wrong with you? Like, how stupid? Like, did you remove your own brain while you were a neurosurgeon, sir? Seriously, I don't fucking get how he would say some shit like that. Like, I'm convinced that anybody who's black and works with or supports Trump has voluntarily allowed themselves to be lobotomized or something, because the shit that comes out their mouth, the behavior that they exhibit is fucking astounding. For you to, like, first of all, you're addressing your staff at a HUD meeting. What the fuck does this whole immigrant shit have to do with housing and urban development? You're not doing anything to show me that, hey, he's about to do something great to make HUD a very good department within the government.
won't be for
Shit had nothing to do with housing. Do you find slave ships proper housing? Is that the reason why you brought that up and you want to like institute a law where people get put back on slave ships or something? Because I don't know what the fuck that has to do with housing. What that has to do with developing urban areas. Nothing at all. So why are you fucking giving the speech about immigration in the first place? And then to compare immigrants and slaves to each other? Are you fucking, like, do you not know what the word slave mean? Have you never heard of the term? Those people on the slave ships that you call immigrants, they were put there not because they were willing. Immigrants want to come here. They want to escape a situation in which they're in a fucked up like state, most likely, or they just want a change of venue. Perhaps, you know, a chance to have an opportunity at growth in some other way. You know, their countries may not even be bad, but they may look at America and say, you know what, there's a lot more opportunity there. There's a lot more jobs. There's a lot, you know, so on and so forth. Let me go someplace where I can possibly be a more successful person, where I can make things more successful for my children. I don't know of any slave, and I'm not just talking about black people, I'm talking about slaves, period, who just said, you know what, I'm going to let you subjugate my ass and put me in chains and take me against my will, because someday my great-granddaughter is going to be better off than I am. Mind you, I'm sure once people got here and they were suffering under the, like, you know, chains of slavery, they had hope. They had desire for a time where, if not them, then their children could be in a better situation than they were. That's what we all do. When we're all in a fucked up situation, we all hope that things get better. So that is about the only thing that you said that may have some merit. But the point of the matter is, they're fucking slaves. They had no choice. They're not immigrants. They didn't come to this country and fucking was like, yeah, I want to be whipped and shit and pick cotton and put in fucking shacks and fed the like fucking parts of animals that you don't want to fucking eat because you don't want to give me any real food and shit like that. I want that. That's exactly why am I gonna leave Africa where I'm like, warriors, princes, kings, fucking royalty. Even if I'm not even royalty, I live in a village among people who I care about. I'm with my family, my friends. We're all a part of a loving community. Fuck that shit. I need you to put some goddamn chains on my goddamn wrist, throw me in a goddamn boat, and like take me over here. Hopefully I survive the goddamn trip so I can come over here so you can sell me like I'm a piece of fucking cattle. That's what I wanted. That's what my forefathers wanted. This is what you're telling me, Ben Carson? Fuck you. I swear to fucking God that his motherfucking ass, oh my God, he fucking irked the fucking shit out of me. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And if I'm Trump, I'm looking at you like, you're a dumb motherfucker. Like, seriously, as much as I don't like minorities, even I can't say some shit like that because maybe I'm not that stupid. You're a stupid mother. No wonder nobody voted for you when you were running for president because you was a dumb motherfucker. Seriously. Like, God damn it. Oh, my God. That pissed me the fuck off.
You all right, bro?
I just took a sip of rum. I'm gonna be fine.
I'm
gonna be okay. I'm gonna be fucking okay.
You all right?
I'm gonna be all right. I'm going to be all right. It's gonna be okay.
I love you.
Love you too.
Okay.
It's fine. My heart. I'm checking my pulse now. I'm alive, people. Don't worry. I'm gonna be good. I'll make it to the end of the show. I promise you. Jesus Christ.
Yes, he will make it to the end. But whether or not he will be sober remains to be seen.
Well, no, we've gotten past the super dumb shit. So ain't nothing gonna piss me off. Like, this is actually going to be one of the more lighthearted shows, to be honest. That's why I wanted to do that shit first so I can get it out my face and get it out my system. Because good Lord. Ooh, and by the way, to spare my sister, we won't speak of the man who Ben Carson works for because I've angered her enough. So I'm going to be the only angry one right now. Okay?
You know what? I am perfectly fine with you mentioning that nut.
Nah, because, Ben fucking Carson and his quote unquote gifted hands is done enough. I mean,
well, I have never read the book, but I heard that it's amazing. And that
it was required. Like, I used to, the community college I went to, I worked in their bookstore. And for certain classes, it was actually required reading. That's how revered that book was back in the 90s. But shit, still nobody want to read that shit now. Fuck him. I mean, if you read it, just remember this is not the same person he was back when he was like head of Johns Hopkins and all that shit. It's crazy because he was actually a pivotal figure in this area. That's the funny part. Like, he had lots of influence. I mean, being a head of Johns Hopkins in Baltimore and all that, people looked at him as he had high esteem, and it's so weird how low this man has fell in the course of the last few years. Jeez.
Interesting.
Yeah. I know.
You all right? Woosa, bro. Woosa.
Yeah, I'm catching my breath now. All right. So, do you have anything to say on this subject before we move on to the next topic?
Absolutely not.
Thank you. Please spare me. All right, so we're gonna go to another topic that's been causing a little bit of I don't know if I would say controversy, but it has a lot of people talking. So you know how Beyonce did the pictures of herself pregnant and all that? Mm-hmm. Well, fellow R&B singer Sierra, I guess maybe she was trying to top Beyonce with the whole pregnancy picture thing. Um, she posed and revealed some photos of her husband, um, her son. Uh,
You know,
no, it's just, I guess how would I describe this? I guess
she
it's
okay. Let me describe it because you're a man. Sierra did an artistic maternity photo shoot, and in doing the
quote
artistic,
unquote.
well, yeah, but in doing the artistic photo shoot, um, she was pictured. And then if you think about the Janet Jackson photo where her husband was covering up her breasts, instead, Sierra's husband, Russell Wilson, is holding onto her stomach. She's completely naked. And then she has her son.
Well, no, she's not completely naked. She has on panties.
Okay, well, whatever.
But
She's naked up top, and she is holding her son Future on her breast. And there is a bunch of people.
by the way, Future is butt ass naked. By the way,
Yes, he's naked. You don't have to go all like that. We know what naked is. But
just want to give people the full visual.
okay. Well, people are having a fit about it because one, that is not Russell Wilson's son, biological son, and two, because of his age. And I will let you go first and give your opinion, and then I'll give my opinion on it.
Okay, I just found the picture weird, not necessarily because it's like a pregnant woman picture. Like, okay, Demi Moore started that shit. It's kind of getting old at this point. When people do that, like, that's cool. You want to take pictures of yourself pregnant and show your body? I don't care. It's not a big deal to me. I just thought that it was a weird pose.
What's weird about the pose to you?
It just looks strange. The image looks strange. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my god, that's disgusting, because I don't think it was disgusting. It just, I sit there and I'm looking at it. It's like, you really did go all out to try to outshine Beyonce, didn't you? That was my first thought, because I felt like she did it to draw as much attention as possible. And I feel like when celebrities do these, it's more about the attention, not necessarily about the moment. Just like I felt like Beyonce's was kind of more about displaying, like, hey, especially since people gave her shit for her pregnancy with Blue. People like, you're not pregnant, you're lying, you had a surgery, blah, blah. And I feel like Beyonce was like, oh, really? So y'all want to say all that shit when I was pregnant with my first child? Well, fuck y'all. I'm going to show you what pregnant is. And that was her, like, rubbing it in the face of people who gave her shit, which, I don't really knock her for that. And at the same time, I do recognize it was just to draw the attention, just so it was to, like, announce it and make sure that people recognize, At least that's how I looked at it. That being said, Sierra, I don't know. I feel like she's possibly competing, maybe. But at the same time, it is what it is. I mean, if that's what you want to do, hey, whatever. All I know is that your ex is going to have a fit, because he don't seem to be the open-minded type enough, at least to say, even though I don't care for this, hey, I'm not going to sweat it. I feel like you got a Future diss track coming out soon, or he's going to say something outlandish. Has he said anything about this yet?
Not that I know of, but I'll be honest, I don't pay attention to the hating that he does, and that's a whole separate subject, because I personally feel like he's upset that Sierra has, one, moved on, and two, upgraded. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Because she has.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
But as for the picture, this is what I think. Number one, it's her maternity shoot. It's whatever she felt like she needed to do. Do I feel like she's trying to get the attention or snatch it away from Beyonce? No, I don't think that. I think that as a society, we are so hell bent on making women compete that that's what we're focused on. I don't think that there was any competition at all. Both women are pregnant, and both women are, to me, they're in their own league. Like, I just don't see her saying, oh my gosh, everybody was talking about Beyonce. What about me? Well, what about me? Well, what about me? I'm still pregnant. That's not how I saw that. So I don't really see it that way. And I mean, who knows what Sierra was thinking? We're not at her house. We're not her girlfriends. But me personally, I don't compete against any woman. I am a woman in my own right. I have flaws. I have strengths. I have weaknesses. So that's how I look at it. I look at it the same as with Sierra and Beyonce. They both just happen to do the same things for work. They are both singers, and that's where the competition comes in. So I don't think that, just like any other piece of artwork, in her maternity shoot was artwork, in my opinion. Its beauty or lack thereof is subjective. And me, I don't really see anything wrong with the picture. I mean, I'm looking at it. It's beautiful artwork. But I do understand people that have an issue with it. I completely see it when they say, well, baby Future is too old to be hugged up against his mom like that. And, he doesn't have on any clothes and, whatever. I understand that, but I don't necessarily agree with it. The picture to me is a beautiful piece of artwork. So that's just what I think. And then for those that are saying that Russell Wilson is not his dad, well, yeah, he is. No matter what people say, he is a part of that baby's life, and he's there with that child more than his dad is. So I don't see any. Get your minds out the gutter, people.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a weird image to me. When you talk about the competition, I think you nailed it exactly where I see it. I don't think it's a woman against woman thing. I just think it's a celebrity status type of thing. That's all. It's like, who needs to make the headlines, or who needs to be get the attention? Because being a celebrity, attention is a part of the business.
But
that helps you.
True. And then also, being a celebrity, you're only as good, I guess, as your last press release or as the last thing that somebody said. But I honestly, truly believe that Sierra is so happy. She has found the love that she wanted and needed in Russell Wilson. And I'm not going to lie, I am so happy for her to have found that, because so many times we deal with somebody, men and women, we deal with somebody, they're not the best for us, they're just what we want at that time. We find out that they're not what we necessarily want, need, desire, require in our lives. And then when we move on, somebody is always going to not be happy. Always. So I think that it's a beautiful picture. And I say, Sierra, beautiful. She is glowing. She is happy. I mean, hey, I love it, but I also love the video that she did lip syncing to Whitney Houston too, in her house. I thought that was cute. So stop hating people. Damn, she has somebody that she can be happy with. She has somebody that she can be playful and goofy with, and I love every minute of it.
All right, so I'm gonna have to go here because I'm a dick.
But
no. Yes, we're gonna do it.
Go on, homeboy.
But nah. I gotta ask this question.
Okay.
Don't you think that part of like her this too is also her rubbing it in the face of Future?
I don't. I think that
because let's be honest, he's not happy about her being with Russell.
Right.
He's not happy with her having his kid.
Right.
He was trying to be petty and spiteful as shit.
Right.
And they didn't have the best of relationships. True. Now, part of that, I think, too, is because her choice of men was suspect, was fucked up. You picked that bottom basement motherfucker. Like,
wait a minute.
Let's be honest. Y'all
wait a
that
minute.
Shit. Y'all like to pick dudes who ain't shit. And then find somebody who's good. You like to smear that shit in the guy who ain't shit's face, but it's like, you pick that motherfucker.
Let me just say this. I'm going to answer your question, okay? Do I think that she's rubbing it in Future's face? I think that to a certain extent, she may have been a little bit of a petty with it. She may have, there is a tinge of petty to it. But you let me find me somebody. I'm going to be Snapchatting, Instagramming, Facebooking, selfie taking, and posting them like I've never posted them before. She's happy. She's genuinely happy. Let her have it. I don't think it's her being petty. I really, really don't.
I mean, you gotta think some of it's kind of bad because especially when you look at the type of person the Future's like you think Future is. He portrays himself out as like this is a quote unquote thug dude who is about the streets and stuff like that, and people who are about that lifestyle that he claims he's about. That type of shit to them. I know he's somewhere sitting there being like, this is the gayest shit I've seen. He's small-minded like that, He's looking at that, and he's looking at his son, and he's probably raging about that because he feels like they put his son in some soft position and all of that. And she probably knows that. And she knows that shit's fucking with him. Because she knows that his boys are probably fucking with him. Like, damn, son. You see what your baby mama did with your son? Damn. Like, I know it has to be happening.
And I will say this, and I'm sure maybe this will make some of the men come for me. But as a man, if you're listening to what your friends say, and they are speaking that type of mess, then they're not your friends. Because I can honestly say this, and Mike, we've had this discussion before, and I've said it many, many times. My friends are never going to bring anything to me to hurt me. It's going to be to help me. And my friends are never going to bring something to me to just cause chaos. And that right there alone is causing chaos. So
yeah, and I agree. I mean, but I also think it's kind of part of the culture. Because it's culture that I don't necessarily subscribe to, but I know it's a part of the culture because I have brothers. I've listened to some of the shit that they've said about things in similar situations or somewhat like those situations. And, let's be real. As black men, that shit comes up a lot. They see they're going to attack. Not necessarily out of, anger or malice towards their friend, but it's because black men ain't supposed to do that shit.
Well,
and I think that's probably why he has so much heat against Russell Wilson, because Russell Wilson does the quote unquote soft shit that he won't do that she probably likes. And the fact that he's doing those things and she's all in on him probably makes him even more angry because he's not going to be that quote unquote soft dude. So it's like, okay, so you took my girl, you took my son, and you're better man. You're a better, well-rounded man than me, even though, the way that we perceive it, you're just a bitch or you're a punk or whatever. Nah, fuck that. I can't lose to a punk. And that's probably driving him fucking crazy. And I find that hilarious, to be quite honest. Because he's probably in Atlanta right now, fucking going nuts over this situation. And I'm sure you're going to hear him talk of some shit soon. I guarantee you he's going to have some shit to say soon. Guarantee you.
Well, bless his little heart if he does. I mean, this is the way that I feel about it. And I know that some people just love to be all up in people's business. But if I don't personally know them, well, even if I personally know them, that's none of my business. And when they start doing that little petty attacking back and forth, I turn a blind eye to it. And I don't even worry about it. So I hope that Future finds him somebody, because here's the deal. He's not happy because he's by himself. But I truly believe that once he finds someone to occupy his time, he won't say anything else about it. I guarantee it. I really believe that.
Well, maybe he could find somebody who could teach him how to rap. That would be nice.
I'm not in that.
He sucks.
Okay, well.
And if you're a fan of Future, I'm sorry, but he sucks. Anyway, moving on. That was fun. It was fun in the fact that I got to fuck with Future because he sucks. Anyway, last story, which is extremely fucking weird and bizarre and funny as hell. So, all right, let me just start from the beginning of our article. Lawyer pants on fire. Jurors try to assess the truthfulness of defense lawyer Stephen Gutierrez's closing arguments in an arson trial Wednesday. May have been dismayed to notice that his pants were literally on fire. So, just to break it down, during his closing arguments, the lawyer, Stephen Gutierrez, was giving his, talking to the jury, and his pants literally caught on fire. Smoke was seen billowing from his pocket. He blamed it on a faulty e-cigarette battery. Now, the thing about this is, since it was an arson case, a lot of people are speculating that he set up this whole event to make kind of a grand, display, because part of his defense for his client was that, hey, he wasn't trying to necessarily burn the car. He burn his own car. It was just an accident and things happened. It was spontaneous combustion is what he said happened, which makes sense because this was the act of spontaneous combustion. So people are thinking he staged this thing. Of course, his client was still found guilty of second-degree arson. And prosecutors actually thought about charging Gutierrez with contempt of court because of what happened, because they seriously thought he was really, really just putting on this event just to be grandstanding in court. He says that it wasn't a joke or it wasn't him grandstanding. But people questioned that. I would have loved to have seen the whole event break down where he's just in court giving his speech and all of a sudden like, oh shit, my pants. It was like runs out of court with his pants on fire and smoking. What do you think about this whole situation? By the way, Florida, you had another great moment in history. You should be proud of yourself, as always, for your fuckery.
I just honestly can't see him doing that on purpose, to be honest. He suffered second-degree burns. So, I mean, I can't see him doing that. I can understand maybe how that would have played in his favor, but I can't see him doing that on purpose. That would have been insane to do that on purpose because he risked being hurt. So I can't see him doing that. So no. Do I think that that's what he did? No. Would I have found his client guilty? I don't know because I didn't see the evidence in the case. But if he did do it on purpose, that's extra stupid.
Well, see, the thing is, people do extra stupid things all the time. Yeah, so that's why I could actually find this being something.
Just to get his crying off. Come on now.
You know, I've seen it on TV shows, and it wouldn't surprise me if there was a lawyer out there who would do some TV show type shit. It reminds me of, like, I don't know if you remember a show called Picket Fences. Do you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember the lawyer? What was his name? The defense lawyer, the guy who used to defend everybody, no matter what.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it reminds me of some shit like somebody like him would do, because his whole philosophy used to be, look, I don't need to know if you're guilty or not. I just need to figure out how to get you off, basically. And he would do some like crazy shit in court to get his clients off because, hey, you're paying me to get people to declare you innocent. So I'm going to do what I need to do to declare you innocent so I can get paid. It wouldn't surprise me if this guy did some shit like that, not thinking that it wouldn't come to this, because he could have had something just as innocent as just like a little smoke bomb or something like that, and not thinking like maybe it would get hot enough to burn me. You know, people do dumb shit like that. And then, I mean, with all due respect to anybody listening who lives in the state of Florida, but this is fucking Florida. Florida has been the bastion of dumb news stories and stupid behavior by people for, oh gosh, almost the last 10 years, dating back to fucking dumbass, what's the name, George Zimmerman and stuff like that, where people do outlandish things. You know, you have George Zimmerman, you have the fucking bath salts dude, you have fucking Jeb Bush, you have the fucking voting fraud shit during the Bush Gore election. Like Florida, the fact that this happened in Florida, I hate to say it this way, but it kind of makes me believe that somebody would do something that dumb there, because
oh my goodness,
so much dumb shit has happened in Florida in recent history, and that's sad. I hate that, but Florida's gotten a bad reputation over the years. You know, I mean, you got to admit that.
Well, you know, I hate.
I mean, they just fucking said that they were going to press charges against some kids who threw rocks at the goddamn president car. They were going to prosecute them. Come on. Kids. Not grown men. Kids.
I can't see him doing that. So to all the attorneys, I'm giving y'all the benefit of the doubt on this one. I mean, some of y'all are really some real slick willies, but this one, I'm giving y'all the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt on this one.
Okay, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, you know me. Hey, I'm on my positive kick. Now, if you had caught me about this time last week, we'd have had a whole nother discussion.
Okay, well, you stay positive on that.
You know it, yes. You
Yeah.
love my positive.
Oh, and just as a note, they said the lawyer refuses to respond right now. The
Really?
media request for comments about the situation.
Well, that makes him seem guilty.
Mm,
I'm not saying that he is, but you know what? I have always been taught, when I thought about going to law school and then I started reading and all that. Hey, the best defense until you're really truly prepared is to say absolutely nothing. So I don't blame him.
Okay.
I don't blame him.
Fair enough. That's fair. Fair enough.
So, Mr. Steven Gutierrez, I got your back on this one. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. And also want to give credit to USA Today. Rob Quinn is the person that wrote this article. So
thank you, Rob, for that hilarious story. All right, so let's move on to our subject, which is going to be about technology and how people view current technology. Now, this shout out to my boy Cardiac Sumo. That's his Twitter handle. He has been harassing me for weeks to discuss some news that came out of CES 2017. If you don't know it,
that is the best thing ever. Well, one of the best things ever.
If you know what the Consumer Electronics Show is, it's basically at the beginning of every year, there's a big event where different companies that create or design technology or just trying to introduce new technology to the world gets together and displays different things that they come out with. Now, one of the big things that came out of CES was that NVIDIA.
Audi. Yes.
Yes, NVIDIA, who is mostly known for their video graphics card manufacturing.
Yep.
They've been kind of spreading their wings a little bit and getting into other type of technology. Like they had the NVIDIA Shield, which is a handheld portable gaming console that they created. But now they're moving on to bigger and better technology. More specifically, artificial intelligence is becoming a big thing with them. So they held a press conference at CES 2017. And during that press conference, they announced the BB-8, which is funny because that's them using the name of a Star Wars character. But that was what the code name that they assigned to the technology that they're using for a self-driving car that they're working on with Audi. Basically, the car gives you the option to let it drive you. You can set it to pretty much navigate the roads. It uses its GPS and its cameras to basically take you wherever you want to go. If you have a specific location, you can input that location in and it will take you no matter where you are, city streets, highways, whatever. It'll get on and off exits, all of that stuff. And at any time you can take over the car and drive it yourself. You're not stuck being driven by this car, but it gives you that option. They also announced that they're working on smart home technology where they'll allow you to use their technology to tie into different things in the house and be able to operate certain things in the household. So they're really pushing the artificial intelligence thing. And my boy Cardiac, he's really big on this car.
Yay. I need to follow him on Twitter. What's his name again?
Cardiac Sumo. I'll link you next time I tweet him because he's been really, really wanting to hear us talk about this. And I thought, like, not just about the car itself, but about technology and people's dependence or kind of people's reluctance to depend on technology as well. Because when we were talking about this, he was saying how he found it interesting how people were so reluctant to let a car drive them, even though it's been considered a more safer thing. Because let's be honest, most people out there drive like shit and are crazy as fuck. I live in the DC area, people. If you live in the DC area, you know my pain, my struggle, my strife. This place is always in the top 5 nationwide of some of the worst drivers in the country. Why? Because I don't know, but people are extra aggressive, they're angry, they're impatient, and they're willing to do stupid things in order to get someplace faster. Whereas this car, it's like one of the highlights of the car, which I found funny, was even when you're driving yourself, the AI can still be active, and it kind of listens to you and measures your like vocal tones and things like that. So if you're a rage driver and you're being angry in the car will respond to you and be like, perhaps you need to pull over or take a moment and relax because you seem really, really angry. You may do something stupid. The car will say that to you. To which I've laughed and said, no, I would curse that fucking car out if it told me to calm down and somebody just pissed me off. But at the same time, that's to be honest, that's not a bad thing because we can be very hostile towards each other. This machine is going to pretty much do the right thing no matter what. Or at least it's taught to do that. But we as people, come on. I mean, I've been told I'm a very sensible driver, but even I would be the first to admit that there are times where if someone's going too fucking slow for me, I'm fucking finding the like fastest route around them and I'm cursing them the fuck out. Yeah. So that's what I want to talk about, like how, technology benefits people or how people react to it as far as like the fear of depending on it. So
great. Shout out to your friend. As a matter of fact, while I'm talking, go ahead and tag me in something so I don't forget to follow him on Twitter. So NVIDIA, I've always loved NVIDIA from my PC building days of the 80s and 90s. That was like the premier graphics card that you wanted in your computer. And I've always felt like they could do amazing things beyond just the development of the graphics card. They are phenomenal. With them finally stepping outside of the box and working with car manufacturers like Tesla and Audi, that is so exciting to me because in looking at all of the research and looking at all of the demos and looking at all of the test drives that they've done, these things are super duper amazing. If you think about it, self-driving cars are already here. They're just not utilized as much. I know Tesla has a self-driving feature. My car has a self-driving feature and I drive a Genesis. Genesis G80 is what it is now. It came in under the Hyundai umbrella just to get into the US market. Very smart move on their behalf as well. But so I drive a Genesis and I can literally set it to lane departure notice and also lane assist, and it'll drive. And I've tried it. It won't let you drive that far with it controlling the car, but it'll let you. And when my brother drives my car, I have to turn that off. He hates it. He's one of the people that does not like it. Me personally, I look forward to the day when I can put in my mom's address in the great state of Arkansas and I can just relax. I can sit the seat all the way back. I can drink some soda. I can write some poetry. I can enjoy the Wi-Fi in the car. That is probably what scares people, is to see somebody driving down the road and this car is driving itself and then you're over here basically relaxing. I think that it's the safer bet. However, then it runs the risk of hacking. What if somebody hacks into the system?
Yeah, and that would be a worry that I would have.
Yep. What if the system malfunctions? it's man-made. Even though it's a computer, it's still man-made. So you still have the risk of failure. What if that happens? I can see both sides of the coin. I do see that this could change the game in driving forever, and it would definitely be more safer. And more safer is not the correct verbiage, but more safer for people on the highway, because especially, for instance, okay, I was in a car accident on Friday, which is again why I'm not on camera, because I have this glorious neck brace and I look a mess. I have a black eye and stitches. But had that man been driving one of those vehicles, he never would have ran into the back of us. My Genesis will not allow me to run into the back of you. My Genesis, and it's crazy because before I got used to it, I'm just driving along, and the first time I did it, it sounded like we had hit the car. And the reason that it sounded like that, because it turned on the brakes and I did just an automatic stop. So I didn't hit the car in front of me, but if the person behind me was driving too close or wasn't paying attention, they would have hit me, and then it would have been their fault. So I can see the benefits, the pros and the cons. I personally, because I am a techie, and you know that I love tech, this car may not be, or this type of car may not be for the masses. Maybe eventually it'll be standard, but you can either have it active or deactivate it, whichever way you want it, and then drive it that way. So I mean, I totally get it. People are nervous, especially when they don't understand tech. That makes them extremely nervous. Just like anything else that we don't know about, we are kind of leery to change sometimes. I mean, this isn't a car, but my mom's first cell phone, I bought it for her. She loved it. And then remember when the Motorola Razors came out?
Oh, yes, I had a Razor.
Okay, so did I. Well, I bought my mom one. I put it in this nice little box and I mailed it to Arkansas. And she opened up the box and she calls me on her current cell phone and says, "What is this for?" I'm like, "Mom, it's your new cell phone." "I don't want a new cell phone." "But Mom, it's the latest and greatest." "I don't want this." "Mom, I'm going to activate it. You're going to be forced to use it, or it will not work." "Well, why?" "I like this phone." And then I got her into the Motorola Razor. And when it came time to get out of that, "I don't want to change. I like my Razor. I love my Razor. It's small. It's perfect."
Oh, and she just gets sniped as she's going on about Google, you were going so well, and then you snipe my coworker, which I guess is a nod against technology, because internet connections in the United States have issues, especially in certain areas. You would think it wouldn't be that way, but unfortunately, this country, for all the glory and all the advancements that it has, why is communication services such a big deal? Cell phone services and internet services. And yes, I'm stretching for time, people, because I know my co-host is going to come back. But this is one of the things that makes people doubtful about technology, is when things like this happen, because there's no reason in this country that she should be getting kicked like this. The infrastructure of communication should be much, much stronger in this country. And welcome back, Katina. I was stretching while you got kicked off.
I didn't get kicked off. I just didn't hear anything. Dang.
No, honestly, I'm looking at it and it said that you got kicked off and that you just joined back.
Oh,
because, like I was saying during my stretching, communication services in this country is some bullshit. And the infrastructure for the internet and cell service needs to be strengthened. And I wish that the government would take it more serious, because that's one part of technology that I have an issue with when it comes to this country. We do not take that shit serious enough, but I guess because it's more because of. Go ahead.
I personally don't think that people take technology serious enough, actually. Like, they are so. We are dependent upon technology, and in some instances, we're too dependent upon technology. And so people get very comfortable. Like, for instance, at my previous job, I had a coworker, I won't say his name, but he would forever get up and walk away from his computer without locking it. Just get up and walk away. It looks like he's still sitting there. He's just not physically there. Computer up and running, wide open. So one day he got up, he walked away from his computer. I got on his computer. I sent him an email from himself, and then I locked the computer and walked off. So he gets it, and then the first thing he says is, "Hey, Katina and the other coworker who touched my computer." We both look at him like, "What are you talking about?" So he goes, "Oh, okay." But I taught him something very valuable, because security is a big thing. And for those of you that have never had your identity stolen, that is hell. I am still trying to get my stuff back together from that. And that wasn't me being careless. It was just somebody hacked into a database that had my personal information. They got my social, they got, of course, my name, they got my address, they got my mom's maiden name, they got my mom's name, my mom's address, my children's names, and they ran with it. And I'm still telling people, listen, I've never lived in the state of Colorado. I've never bought a home there. I've never bought a condo there. I've never bought a car there. But guess what? Somebody did with my social, and then they skipped out on it. So I have to go through the process of getting all of that cleared up. And it wasn't because I was careless. It was because of technology. Technology allowed them to do it because they remotely accessed my personal social and address and all that. So yeah,
but I don't necessarily blame technology. I blame, like, in that instance, it's not the technology itself that was faulty, it's the user. And I think that's part of a lot of people's problem with technology, is that they don't want to admit that most problems that occur have to deal with how you handle the technology. No one would have been able to touch your coworker's computer had he just simply just Control Alt Delete and hit lock.
Yep.
That's all he had to do. It wasn't like he had to do a long, drawn out process to keep someone from accessing his computer. He just chose not to do a basic, simple function because he didn't feel compelled to do it, because he was so sure that no one would touch his stuff.
I don't trust
he was way more trusting in other people. And, hey, I understand that you don't want to think that people would do some stuff like that, but let's be realistic about the world we live in. People do some fucked up, shitty stuff. And you want to protect yourself as much as possible. So he can't blame technology. He can't be mad at the computer. Be mad at yourself for being lazy. You know what I mean? And it's just like when it comes to people who are fearful about letting technology, quote unquote, take over, like with the self-driving car thing, I joke about like cursing out the cars and stuff like that. But honestly, I don't like to drive. I'll be honest with you. And if I could find a way where I don't have to be bothered, I would be glad to do so. My biggest fear about that stuff is mostly how other people react to it. The fact that this car is going to have to deal with people who aren't going to think logically, who are going to do irrational things. And, hopefully the technology is sound enough to be able to react to that. Because, again, people do some shitty stuff on the road. I'm driving home from work and constantly I see people pull into merging lanes and gun their engines to jump in front of people in regular lanes because they don't want to wait. Like, it's this on this one stretch of road, there's a turn lane, and the turn lane will go into the merge. Will, like, if you keep driving straight, it'll run right into the merging lane. And what they will do is, instead of staying in a regular lane that's going straight up the street, they'll drive as fast as they can in the turning lane. Don't turn off the road, even though it's a turn only lane, and getting to the merging lane so they can pass people who are in the regular lane and get in front of them because they don't want to wait that I don't know, 5 seconds behind them for them to drive. It's a weird thing. But I see it all the time. It's like everybody's so impatient to be in front. Everybody wants to, like, one person I saw today, they're trying to cross traffic, and they pulled their car literally out into the middle of a lane as if to say, you know what, you're going to let me get into this lane because I'm pulling into the middle of the street and I'm going to stop here and make you stop so I can go where I need. It's like, you're willing to cause an accident to hurt other human beings because you are so impatient. You need to get where you need to going that quicker. But that's what human beings do. Computers don't think like that. Computers think, okay, this is the rules of the road. This is the way it's supposed to be done. We're going to execute the plan the way it's supposed to be done. And I think, honestly, while people like to say that they're scared to let something take over, I think that's part of the problem is control. They lose their control over the situation, and they don't like that. Like, to have to adhere to the rules is a hard thing for a lot of people because that's you not being able to control the situation and do what you want to do. And I think that's part of the reason why people rail against stuff like this. Now, stuff like smart houses, I don't think I would be into because I don't need I feel like that's a level of laziness that I don't need.
Well, wait a minute now. Wait a minute, because my house is a smart house.
But you know what I mean. There are certain things that people do when it comes to like smart devices that you can be very, very lazy with. And you know this is very, very true. It's like, okay, I'm not going to be sitting here and be like, that's lazy that you don't want to hit the button on your garage door. If your house senses when your house is near, when your car is near, and it opens the door, that's fine. But I guess there's certain things that
let me just say this. I love my smart house. I love the fact that now, and here's the caveat to that though. I don't know where my keys are to my front door. But I can't tell you how many times I've actually came home and walked through my front door because I don't. I come in through the garage. Okay. But I do love the fact that if I'm not home and my mom pulls up because she's coming to visit, I can just say, hey, Mom, here is the code. Or as soon as we're talking about her coming, I can say, okay, what 4 to 6 digit code do you want? And then she says, okay, baby girl, I want this. Okay, mommy. And then I can go up to my keypad and I can put it in there. I love that. I love the fact that each of the kids have their own code so I can look and I can see.
See, okay, I don't find that lazy, I find stuff
okay,
like...
but wait a minute. Now, here's the lazy part. I could be laying on the couch or I can be in my bedroom and somebody can tell me that they're coming over and I can be like, okay. And then they can text me and say, hey, pulling up or whatever. And then I'll always text them back and just say, all right, well, just ring the doorbell. Well, the crazy thing is I told them to ring the doorbell. They don't even have to ring the doorbell. If you stand in front of my door for longer than 2 seconds, just 1, 2, my phone is going to vibrate and say, your doorbell detected a visitor. Once you ring the doorbell, okay, fine. But even if you don't ring the doorbell, I still can access my camera that is over my door. I can see who's at my door. And then, and I am guilty of this, sorry, but I have been in my room doing something, had a guest come over, and I'm like, yep, hold on 1 second. And then boop, boop, and then the lock will unlock itself. And then I just talk to him through my phone that is through the camera. And I just say, hey, come on in. Like, I think the last time I was in the office doing some homework, a young lady came over for Dominique and she rang the doorbell. So I got my phone. I talked to her. I said, hey, give me like 2 seconds. I'm going to unlock the door. Well, I hit the thing to unlock the door and I could hear her say, so you want me to just walk in? So I told her, yes, ma'am, the door is unlocked. And when you step in, the light will automatically come on. So don't be afraid. So it can make you lazy, but it's nice too. I mean, I love telling Alexa, hey, Alexa, tell whatever to turn on or off. And Alexa be like, okay, I love that.
Yeah, it's like that's where I say the laziness part. It's like we won't even get up to turn on the light anymore. I mean, I understand it's the convenience part and it sounds cool, and I would probably use it, but I would have to admit I'm being fucking lazy if I don't want to get up and turn on the light. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. But like the whole other stuff, like, you know, you can look and see who's coming to your door. You can do that type of thing. Okay, that's cool shit to me. Like a coworker of mine is funny because this is something I don't find lazy, but a coworker of mine was saying how he thinks like it's a level of laziness. You know how like apps now, for fast food places let you place orders before you get there.
Yes, I do it at Sonic all the time. But go on.
See, and he was like, "That's just like lazy. Just go to the store and order the stuff." And I was like, "Well, no. If I want to get something from Chick-fil-A and they're gonna fix it before I get there, that's cool because I don't have to wait in line." Just like how they're starting to finally in this area put the kiosk in the McDonald's, where instead of standing in line waiting for the cashier, you can just press on the touch screen, order your stuff, pay, and then they just call your order, you know, things like that. Now, I will say this, though, the counter to all of this is that in some cases, like with Amazon, how Amazon is completely turning into automated, like, stores areas. Like, we just got one in College Park, Maryland. The downside, I would say, to that is that you're eliminating jobs for human beings. Which sucks, you know, because jobs, you know, people need jobs. They need to be able to pay for this stuff. Granted, again, going back to the whole fast food thing, part of the reason I would use that stuff is because I don't want to deal with the fucking fucked up foul people that sometimes are working at some of these places that take forever to take your order or just like fuck your shit up. But you know, the counter is you're taking a job away from people. So I can understand like people being upset about technology in that sense. Definitely. Because, you know, people need to eat, you know, and you can't eat if your job is being taken from you by a machine.
Well, this is so far off the topic of the cars, and I promise.
Well, it wasn't just about cars. Like I said, I wanted to talk about how technology affects like society as a whole too. I think the car was a good example of one of the things that is very divisive when it comes to people, when it comes to people and technology and how they view it.
Okay, because I was going to say cardiac sumo, we are definitely going to get back to that. But this is what I will say. I do not use the self-checkout lanes anymore in stores. I used to because it's quicker and I can get in and out when there's not that many people in the store because not many people were using them at the time. Now I no longer use them. I no longer use them when I go into a store because it does not lower my price. I'm still paying the same price, but now I'm doing some work. So, and I'm taking away someone's job for my little 15 to 30-second transaction. So now, moving forward, I have, and will continue to utilize the cashiers and clerks that are there. The Amazon store, I will admit, the geek in me is like, yes. But at the same rate, it is taking jobs. So that kind of hurts. But at the same time, that is a cycle in anything. In the car manufacturing business, At first, it used to be humans that actually put the cars together. Now it's humans running the machines to make production quicker. That's technology. So it's good and it's bad. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a plus and a minus. I mean, I used the grocery store thing today, the automatic made a checkout thing because I was only had two things and I was in a hurry.
Right.
But yeah, at the same time, I mean, I guess it depends on my mood sometimes because it's like I can be impatient sometimes. I don't like to shop.
Look at this picture, good old cardiac sumo. I see you. I see you.
Oh, whatever. Don't blow him up. By the way, he is a software. He's a software engineer. Oh yeah, he's in Florida. By the way, your state sucks, cardiac.
He is in a soft. Oh my god, I love him.
Your state still sucks, cardiac, but it's okay. I love you. I love him. He's one of my favorite people because he says some of the most like introspective and deep comments on a lot of my videos. He challenges me, which I love. So he's one of my favorite followers and supporters. So yeah, but still, your state sucks. Fuck Florida. Anyway.
I am interested. I'm scrolling down his Twitter feed, and so I see where he says that he's setting up to do a little startup.
Hook up my sister with a job, please, cardiac.
Come on through, cardiac. Yes. But I also saw where he said web developers.
Yeah.
I'm actually, matter of fact, I was just looking at it because, of course, I'm in my master's program to get my cybersecurity degree, but I've been waiting on the Iron Yard, and this is not a plug. We are not sponsored by them whatsoever. They're just a program that I've been really looking at. They have a 12-week program where it is, I think, Monday through Friday, but I'm looking and I see where they have a 24-week immersive program, and in the 24-week program you meet on Monday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And I don't even think I told you, so I got a scholarship from them.
Nice.
Yeah, it's worth $14,000 or $15,000 for their 12-week program, but I'm going to call them tomorrow and see if I can start with the 24-week program that starts on March 27th and just go through that. And then mine, I think I signed up for front end, but I just may do back end. I really want to learn to do both though. So
you can do both. It's just like I don't know if you saw it during our conversation. I was saying to him, even after I get my network administration degree, I plan on trying to continue to get my business degree, especially since they have a tech-based business program now where they teach you how to run technology-based companies. So I was like, why don't I just do that too? I mean, don't just be an Indian, be a chief, you know?
Right, because what I love is that, again, this is just my preference. With the Iron Yard, the back end, you can learn C++, C# and .NET.
Oh my God, programming. We were talking about that. I hate programming.
Ruby on Rails, Java, Python, and Django. So I
can have all that shit. Oh my God, programming.
I am so interested in, Cardiac Sumo, you finna be my bestie because I want to know his advice on those languages, which ones, what does he see the tech world moving towards the most? Because that would be the one that I would definitely want to learn. And then back end and front end, which one should be better, both, what, how to do it. So I am excited. And I need to get with Colin immediately.
See, cardiac, you done fucking
lit a fire.
Yeah, right. You done hit her geek fuse. So
yes.
Now you should be happy. You got the episode that you wanted, and now you've made a best friend. So you've accomplished a lot during this episode of the podcast. So be proud of yourself, sir. But just to finish up on the subject, because it is getting kind of late too. Yeah, like the stuff, the tech that NVIDIA was introducing, I thought it was cool. I could understand where people have their apprehension at. I think some of it's not totally warranted because it's changed. And I think that's one of the other things that's big is that all this talk about technology and stuff like that, it's a huge change to society. And I know we've seen movies like Terminator and stuff like that that have taught us that technology taking over, quote unquote, can be a horrible thing. But this isn't, I don't think this is some like fucking Cyberdyne future computer deeming humans, basically unneeded and taking over the world type shit. It's a safety thing. And I think the more that you can do to make things safer and to make life better for people, I'm all on board. I mean, you just have to, it kind of goes back to part two, the whole laziness conversation is technology should be used to enhance. Don't use it to replace necessarily. And I think that's where a lot of companies get in trouble, is that they want to use technology to replace people. And it shouldn't be looked at that. It should be a benefit to life and lifestyles to make things better for people. So as long as you can keep that balance, there's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. I mean, if I can get me right now, I would love to have the cars with the damn cameras because I can't parallel park for shit. And I would love to have those self-parking cars.
You don't know how to parallel park.
I know, but I'm not good at it, and I hate parallel parking because I think it's the dumbest. Yeah, pull into a parking lot.
No. The secret is that when you are getting ready to parallel park, of course, you're going to pass up the parking spot and then you're going to back into it. But the secret is learning when to turn your wheel. So when your front tires get even with the car's back tires, that's when you start turning to the right to make your car go, the back of the car go to the right. So,
right. Yeah. Get a self-parking car, push the button, and don't worry about it. I got you.
Oh, that'll work too.
Yeah, I got you. And I also need the backup camera thing because while I find backing into spaces, I feel like I need the camera now just to be able to check blind spots because people don't care about walking in front of your shit. Whether you're going forward or backwards, people really, really depend on your reflexes to keep them safe. I'm going to need y'all to stop walking in front of cars like cars won't hurt people. Seriously. Don't do that to yourselves. I hate that shit, especially around here. People do that all the time in parking lots. Going to the grocery store, people will just push their cars out and they won't look like, oh, he ain't going to hit me. Hello. If I'm going fast enough, I might not have a choice because your dumbass want to walk out in front of me. Fuck out of here. People are stupid. And that's why, yes, Cardiac, we need self-driving cars to get rid of stupid people. I agree. Anyway, your closing thoughts on the subject? And yes, the alcohol has made me very angry tonight. I'm sorry, people.
I'm about to lose it.
Why?
You know, I hate when this freaking thing kicks me out. Anywho.
Anyway, your closing thoughts on the subject.
Oh, sorry, guys. Because I was sorry. I can see the pros and the cons. Technology is a way of life. I am by far one of the geekiest females that I know. And I love tech, but I still love to turn the pages of a book when I'm reading a book. And there are some places in my life that, you know, that I don't necessarily want or need tech. So I can understand people being a little nervous about it. But with anybody, like my mom, for instance, what I would ask you guys to do is just think of the ways that it can make your life better and easier and go from there. I mean, because you may not think of certain things as tech or whatever, but think of it this way as progress and not necessarily something to be afraid of. I'm looking forward to having a car that can drive me. That is going to be clutch for me. But I mean, I get it. I mean, I know someone who still likes to write pen and paper, and I still write letters and put them in the mail and put a stamp on them and mail them. So
Yeah, I'm not with the like snail mail thing, but
I mean, I am, and then also one of the things that I did notice that like in the school system, they don't even teach handwriting anymore. They don't teach handwriting, they don't teach cursive, which is sad because penmanship is a big deal. And like I've actually been told that my handwriting was beautiful. And the thing that sticks out the most about it is when I was at the dentist. I think I've said this before, but one day when I was at the dentist, I went in and I signed in. And, you know, we just sign your name, the doctor that you're there to see, your appointment time, the time that you arrive, and then you have a seat. And this was probably at least, this makes me feel old, but at least 20 years ago. And so I go in, I sign in, I sit down, and then for maybe about 3 minutes, I was just reading the magazine. And then a gentleman came in, an older gentleman, maybe, I think he told me he was 97, but he came in, he walked up to the counter, he signed in, and then I heard him ask the receptionist, "Who is this person right here?" And she said, "I'm sorry." And he said, "Who is this person right here?" Well, he was talking about me. So she pointed to me and he walked over and he said, "Excuse me, please don't be alarmed or offended, but may I sit with you?" I'm thinking, okay, he's an old man. What is he going to do? And we're at the dentist office. But he has a seat next to me and he compliments me on my penmanship, tells me that I have very beautiful handwriting, and says, you know, they just don't teach that the way that they used to. And it's funny because guess what? They don't teach it the way that they used to. And now, 20 plus years later, 20 years later, they don't teach it at all. They have taken cursive handwriting completely out of the curriculum. So
ain't that weird?
It's beyond weird.
I'm kind of mad at that because they made me do that shit.
But it's because
but you need to know.
But it's like you said, most people don't. They only need their handwriting to put their signature on things. They don't have to write anything else out. I like writing stuff out.
Yeah, and I guess this goes back to the whole technology conversation. Yeah. I am very, very comfortable with typing shit and then just signing it. But I guess it's a part of my technological laziness in life. Partially, too, because I can't write for shit. My handwriting is atrocious.
And that's all the more reason that you should write. My handwriting, I kid you not, my handwriting to me is basic. But when people see it, they're all like, "Oh my gosh, your handwriting is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, your handwriting is so beautiful."
Shit, they be like, "What the fuck is this, Michael?"
And then it's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I never thought about it." Like my son, he has my signature across his heart as a tattoo. Yep. So, I mean, I can understand that you may not like it, but
I guess I need to write more.
I love technology, not just because it's the happening thing. I've loved technology since the third grade. I wrote my first program in DOS, people. Line 10, line 20, line 30.
She's a real nerd because I cannot stand programming. Like I
line
wanted,
40,
you want to know what's funny? At some point, I
Run.
wanted to be a programmer, and then I started
Really?
to mess with programming, and I was like, I can't do this.
I love it. Line 10, line 20, line 30, line 40. And then at the end, you hit run. And if your code is messed up anywhere, you get an error. And you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I took a programming class doing
And
this
then
whole
you're like, oh my
run
goodness.
to my degree. I'm
Yes.
like, fuck you. Goddamn.
Yes. And
C
you're
plus.
like, yes.
Hate you.
Oh,
Hate you,
man. C plus? Yes. Yes.
Cannot stand C. Oh God.
So yes.
I should buckle down though and learn it because I would love to work on some stuff. Cardiac, sumo, please, sir. If you want to be a teacher, I will gladly be your student because God damn it.
Both. Come on, cardiac. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, y'all can teach me this. You get cursed out a lot, so just be used to it. But
well, I just ignore you. So
yeah, well, he ignored me. No, he'll say something like profound and shit like that and make me pissed because I can't say nothing back to him. So
I like him already.
Whatever. Y'all are both assholes. I hate you both.
Whatever.
Y'all are cool. I love y'all.
That's that rum talking, cardiac.
It probably is. It probably is. Whatever.
Don't pay him any mind.
Whatever.
But I will say that technology has changed my life, and that's serious. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, people open your minds a little bit to this whole technology wave. It's not as bad as you think. Don't let the movies get you totally paranoid.
Right.
As long as you're smart and you use it wisely, you won't end up with Arnold Schwarzenegger coming to try to snap your neck or something like that.
You have to be a white hat, not a black hat.
Yes, okay.
Oh, cardiac sumo. Are you going to the Women in Cybersecurity Conference at the end of this month? If you are, let's meet up because I'm going.
God, I wish I stopped hooking people up. They get on my nerves. Anyway, so let's finish up this show. You have your word because my sister decided that she's going to be an inspirational figure in life.
No, that's not true. It's just no, it's not true. You know me, I'm always deep, and then I try to not be as deep.
She's the Mahalia Jackson of podcast people. She's going to teach you how to be a do-right woman.
Whatever. I think he meant
my. Oh, no, that's Betty Wright, isn't it?
Hey, yes. Come on, Betty.
Yeah, that's Betty Wright. Okay. Whatever.
You know what? I was listening to Betty that day when I wrote that poem. But anyway, so whatever. And it's not that I've just decided to be motivational or anything like that. It's just that we are confronted with negative things in our lives daily. And so we talk about some very heavy stuff on here sometimes, some very depressing stuff. And we are in depressing times. And if you listen to my grandmother, she's been saying this since I was 3. We are in our last days. So I just want to be a blessing and be a light in the darkness of this world. I was waiting on you to say something smart.
No, I'm gonna refrain. I'm gonna be nice.
Yeah, you let me be great.
Yes, I will.
Yes, let me be great. So, my thought of today is that if you don't honor and treasure what's closest to you, it's really hard to ask, believe, and receive something that's even broader, larger, and greater. That's it.
Okay. That.
So,
do we have any questions, by the way? Because we've already answered Cardiac's question. So thank you, sir, for your question, your persistence on making me talk about it. I wanted to talk about it, but we were trying to get back to doing the podcast and starting this whole topic formatted thing. So don't think I was ignoring you. It was just that I wanted to kind of do the mental health thing first, because that was something that was, I thought, really big. And then I wanted to move on to other topics. And yours was one that I wanted to do too, because I thought that was a really good one. So thank you, sir, for doing that.
So, and to add to my thought of the day, it just reminds me of the Bible verse where it says, if you're faithful in little things, you will be faithful in larger ones. So, you can be happy with what you have, and then whether you believe in God or not, if you put it out into the universe, you will be blessed with bigger things. But do we have any questions? There was some questions, but they are well, I'll read them to you, and then we can choose to answer or not. Are you guys single?
Yeah.
You just, yeah.
I mean, I am single.
Okay.
And notice she didn't answer, so yeah, that might lead to an after show discussion. Anyway,
I will just say this: don't go jumping in my inbox, people. How can I put this? Yes, I am single. But yeah, we'll have a conversation off. I can stand you. But yes, I am single. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I am.
All right. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. All right. Any more questions that you wanted to ask, or are we done?
I don't know. That one just didn't sit well with me. You know what? Last time someone asked us this, you went off and was like, "Don't be asking us that. We're not here for that. We're not going to answer that." So that's what I was expecting you to say. So I wouldn't even have to say anything.
I didn't go off, did I?
You did.
I think I did. No, it was something else that they asked. It had to have been so.
No,
I seriously think it was something else.
No,
I seriously think that it.
No,
I think it was something, because I remember
you said, "Listen here, people."
Whatever. It sounds like I'm a wrestler. I'm like, what the hell?
Okay, but to answer your question, person, yes, we're both single. I am currently, ladies, because I love how y'all show up for me. Yes, let's do this. Mike has no idea that this is about to happen, so
shit.
He can cuss me out later. But ladies, if you are in the metropolitan DC, Maryland, Virginia,
oh my fucking God,
inbox me. I am trying to get my brother a nice, wholesome bad girl. So if you don't know what that means, then you're automatically disqualified. There is no need to apply. But if you know what that means, hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up in my inbox.
Are you fucking serious?
Yes.
No.
Instagram.
No. Now I'm gonna go fucking like goddamn WWE.
Whatever. It doesn't matter, people. He's had rum, so he's not even really here. But Instagram and Twitter, both of my names.
Oh my God.
Oh, And to you heifers that have already had your chance, don't jump in my inbox because I'm going to fry you. All right, Mike, I'm done. Yes. Show up, ladies. I need y'all to show up for me. Y'all always come through for me. It's the men that don't come through. Okay, big bro. Hello. I know you're over there. I can hear you breathing, you dummy. Mike.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Mm-hmm.
I so love my brother.
Mm-hmm. It's fine. I'm taking care of things. I will take care of this problem ASAP.
You know what? We will be in a Twitter battle all night, buddy. But yes, pay attention, ladies. I know that there are a lot of nice, wholesome, bad girls out there. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sure.
And as my brother can tell you, there are levels to it. So you may not be on my level, but we can get you there. Well, that's
okay, and I'm done with that. Any more questions?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Someone asked, do you have children? Because you never speak of your children.
No, I don't have children. That's why I can't speak of what I don't have. I'm actually a rarity. I am a black male in his 40s that doesn't have a kid. No baby mamas.
Never been married.
Nope.
And to answer that person's question, because obviously they don't listen, of course I have children. I've been married. Not saying that all marriages result in children. I'm just saying that for me, mine did. I have 3. I have 3 college-age children, 21, 20, and 19. So, and yes, those are their real ages, because I had somebody hit my inbox before and ask me why was I lying about having kids in college.
That's funny.
That's ignorant, but whatever. So yes.
No, it's not ignorant. It was a guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was just trying to go after your ego. That's all.
Oh, well, don't come after my ego, baby. I'm straight, as they say down.
I'm sorry to blow up your spot, bro, but I mean,
yeah,
we know how we do. Yeah, it was a compliment.
Okay, well, for all of you men listening out there, things like that work for the little young girls, not for a grown-ass woman. I'm a grown-ass woman. So don't come for me that way, because I will blast you or ignore you, one of the two. But yes, I do have 3 children. I have 2 daughters and a son. And since Mike don't have any kids, this question wouldn't apply to him. But the next question was, would you have more kids? And the answer to that is, I cannot find this man fast enough, so I'll say it. Hell no to the no will I have more children. My son is 19, and if I was going to have a kid, it would have been at least 18 years ago. 18, 17, maybe even 16 years ago. But anything beyond that was a no-go. So no, I do not want children. Nope. Mm-mm. And then this one is for both of us. Would you date someone that had children? If so, that's dumb. Okay, would you date someone that had children? Why or why not? Mike, you can answer it.
I have. Prefer not to, but yeah, I will.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
And
yes, I'm saying it in my grandma voice. Why?
Because depending on the like age range of the children, it makes dating kind of hard in a
How?
lot of ways. Because you have your responsibility to your kids. Your kids comes first, and I tell women with children this all the time. I am not the first thing in your life. Your kids are. And
Okay,
if
well,
you pick me over your kids, that kind of makes you less attractive to me anyway. That
yeah.
being said, yeah, we probably wouldn't get to spend as much time as I would like.
Hey, I think I found my door keys.
Oh Lord. Congratulations. Alexa must have helped you. But no, I mean, to be quite honest, women with kids, younger kids in particular, have that responsibility and aren't able to spend as much time. Yeah.
Oh, I think we have our next topic. Don't even go any further with that. That'll be the next topic for our next podcast, YouTube show.
Lord Jesus.
Yes. And I won't even answer it. So if you guys, gals, want to hear my response, tune in next time. Yep.
Okay. Oh Lord. Am I going to be in trouble? Yeah, I probably am. It's fine. Fuck it.
No, you won't, because he's going to do it sober.
I'm going to be in trouble anyway because you're going to have something to say.
No, you'll be shocked.
Oh, okay. All right. Next.
That's it. We're going to say the rest of them. We're going to start doing topics. And so we got our topic for the next one. So we're not going to answer any more questions. What we're going to start doing is making our questions our topics. Boom.
Oh, Lord.
And that way it won't add to our podcast. Right.
Oh, Lord. I guess. All right.
Yeah.
Y'all done got me in trouble with your questions. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Whatever. Cardiac Sumo, look forward to speaking with you. Thank you so much for this topic. I truly appreciate it. I don't know why they think that the Black Nerd Revolution begins now, but yeah, we've been here, people.
Exactly. Anyway, let's close this show out. And again, thank you, Cardiac, because you have helped in a lot of ways, actually, over the last few days. So appreciate the conversations and appreciate the topic. So just really quick, if you don't want to watch the show, of course, you can always catch it in audio format between SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and iTunes. You can leave a review on any of those, or you can follow us over there, subscribe, so we can help build our numbers on those platforms as well as on YouTube. For those of you who prefer the video format, but if you are more on the go person, I suggest you go to one of those other formats. The links will be in the description, so you can just go there, download the podcast in MP3 form, and listen to it there. Thank you again to everybody who supported the channel, who support the audio podcast, everything, questions. We appreciate them, even if they do get me in trouble. I appreciate the questions still. And just thank you for all your support. So with that being said, Katina, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, everyone. Have an abundantly blessed rest of your week.
All right, and hopefully one of these days I'll clean my apartment and we'll put the camera back on. But if not, it's cool. Hopefully you still enjoy the show, whether we have our lovely faces.
Oh, it'll be up next time anyways. Quit playing, boy. Get off of here. Hell. Make me cuss.
We're also putting in applications for new co-hosts, by the way. So.
Yes, we are. Male co-hosts.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, with that, thank you again, and we'll see you next time on His Point Review Podcast. See you guys later. Peace.
Bye.